Dexter is a show about blood. Lots and lots of blood. In today's video we're going to talk about the colour grading in Dexter and how it's used to explore the title character and his relationship to the world around him. Red is used a lot in the show's visual style in order to symbolise the presence of blood, the foreshadowing of violence, or instead give us a peek inside the mind of Dexter Morgan. Just in case anybody is unfamiliar with the narrative of Dexter, I'm going to quickly give a rundown of what the series is about. Dexter Morgan is a serial killer, a monster, but this particular monster is unique because he only hunts other serial killers or those he deems worthy of Harry's Code, a set of rules passed down to him by his police officer stepfather in order to help control his bloodlust and focus it on those who escape the criminal justice system. Dexter's life is defined by this need to kill. He's either always thinking about it or thinking about the life he lives that acts as a shield to his real activities. It's here where the colour grading used is really effective at detailing this urge to the audience. It's also spelled out to us in voiceover many times, but honestly the visual style would have been more than enough to communicate this. What I'm going to do with this video is highlight the use of colour grading and how it reinforces Dexter's character and his inner world, as well as highlight where clashes to it are intentionally made in order to explore his outer world. Our first example is the red logo of Dexter that fades into the first shot of the episode, a dark neon red light that reflects onto a puddle. We don't know it yet, but this communicates that, as Dexter puts it, tonight's the night. He's on his victim's trail. Our next shot is a silhouette of Dexter himself. His face is in darkness, but the outline of his head is accented by red light. The colour is now being associated with Dexter, so it's more obvious now it'll become a visual motif of the character. I think I'm reaching slightly with this take, but I think the use of neon red and the tablecloth being red here could symbolise how Dexter views any person outside his car as a potential victim. It could serve to show how strong his bloodlust really is, and that without the code he could become so much worse. This juxtaposition is actually a running theme in most of the show, but it will be explored most strongly in the first season with how Dexter is contrasted with his brother Brian. A nice touch with the costuming here is the red tie on what will become Dexter's victim. We don't know him yet, but having a different coloured tie to the children behind him is a nice way to immediately single him out from them. As the now named Mike Donovan walks to his car, we see a large flashing red light from the right side of the screen. He's already dead and he doesn't even know it. It fills the entire screen when we cut inside the car, showing an escalation in the stakes, which helps prepare us for when Dexter sits up and throttles Mike from behind. As Dexter prepares his ritual before killing the murderer, something to note is the bright red hue of the blood. It could be a lighting quirk, or we're meant to take that this is how Dexter sees it. After the kill we cut to Dexter sailing his boat. The shots here are a lot less vibrant than from when Dexter was stalking and killing. We're seeing visually here the contrast between his two lives and how he views those two lives. This is what he has to endure so he can do the things he really wants to do. As we can see when Dexter heads back to his apartment, that the colour grading is also being used in order to highlight the humidity of Miami. As I said before, it's always better to show rather than tell, and this is a good example of it. I think I'm reading a bit much here again, but the door being blue, the blue walls, and the blue inside Dexter's air conditioning unit I think is an intentional juxtaposition. Blue obviously isn't the natural opposite of red, that's green, but I think blue is being used here as the opposite. The red blood slides being hidden behind the blue part of the AC unit could be seen as a metaphor for Dexter's real personality hidden behind a facade. I don't think it's a coincidence that he puts on a blue shirt before he leaves to blend in at work. At the crime scene we get a hint that there's no blood by the overwhelming amount of blue at the bottom of the empty pool, as well as by the clothes of the characters. The shot of Dexter at his work with the framed images of spatter patterns is an interesting way of communicating that he's constantly surrounded by blood, both at work and in his personal life. When Dexter goes to the next crime scene, we get a visually interesting set piece where the room is set up to show the contrast of the red blood and the red pieces of string against the white background and furniture. It's a simple way of showing how knowledgeable Dexter is at his job without him actually having to say it. As Dexter spies his next victim, a car park attendant who drives a red car, the car contrasts heavily against a backdrop of greens, highlighting Dexter's focus on his kill. The man's uniform matching some of the background is a nice way of showing that he also blends into his environment, very much like Dexter and the killer at the beginning of the episode. It's a bit on the nose, but I also like the victim's red devil tattoo, which also stands out. Jumping ahead slightly, we get the introduction of Rita and her children Cody and Asta. They are just another aspect of Dexter's cover, but the warm lighting and soft colour grade really does showcase the house as a safe place that Dexter can experience some love in. At this point in the narrative, he doesn't really love Rita, but I do think it's meant to highlight he's at least a little fond of them. After Dexter breaks away from Rita, we're shown him in full hunting mode, shown by his red shirt, the red highlights on the website design, and the reds in the grade pushed up. The scene ends with a voiceover describing elements of Harry's code. This is highlighted with the lighting changing to a deep red as we're allowed access into Dexter's inner thoughts. I haven't really been talking about the flashbacks in the episode much, but I think a really nice touch is how Harry's shirt is blue like Dexter's was earlier. You can see by the comparison being made that Dexter really does come to embody what Harry wanted for him. Speaking of, we cut to Dexter preparing his kill room, the first time we're ever shown it as he uses red tape to stick bags down. As Dexter uses the room to kill his target, he gets a call from Rita. The cuts between perspectives on the phone highlight colour differences. Dexter is covered in blood and in a cold, dark environment, while Rita is at home warm with softer colours. I think if you could boil down Dexter thematically, this is what it's all about, this contrast between his two lives. We get a glimpse at these two lives intertwining as he spots an ice truck, which was speculated earlier to be important to the murder case he was working on. We can see on the van that there are both reds and blues on it. I think it's meant to signify as worlds colliding. The red being stronger on Dexter and the blues near the vehicle is also a nice touch. We're going to end the video with the final scene where Dexter returns to his apartment and finds a doll cut up. It brings the juxtaposition full circle, with the doll wrapped in vibrant red ribbons and left in his freezer. Dexter's two worlds are now meeting, and what this means is explored in the rest of the season. Dexter is a really fun TV show with some great moments of visual storytelling. I think it's a great highlight at how just simple elements of colour grading can help strengthen themes and character beats, and using something as basic as a contrast between red and blue to showcase a conflict between the two inner lives of one character.